This is Hannibal from the Hannibal TV on YouTube, back with another UFO news update. There's huge UFO news going on, or UAP or drone, whatever you want to call them, particularly in New Jersey, but it's spreading. It has been seen in other states, but there seems to be a large increase in sightings in the Philadelphia area of Pennsylvania in recent days. This all seemed to start, strangely enough, about 3 weeks ago when President Biden approved the use of long-range weapons by Ukraine against Russia. Then all this drone activity seemed to increase and get kicked up, strangely enough. There's no real explanation as far as anyone saying what they are, other than nothing to worry about, no immediate threat. They're monitoring the situation. However, nobody's providing any real answers. I have talked to my friends in Canada. I'm in Wichita right now, where I've actually seen some unusual drone activity last week for 3 days in a row. I haven't really seen anything since those 3 days. There was other people that witnessed that with me, and I did get some footage. But it's weird that this is not being reported at all in Canada. It seems like lots of local news sources and internet sources are covering it in the US, but it's not national news in the US yet. Local police and government, even the governor of New Jersey, is demanding answers, looking for help from the FBI and Homeland Security. The weird thing is, if they really don't know what's going on, the government really doesn't know what's going on, it could be very bad. It could be something like China, as some people like as Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett have said he believes, without straight out saying it, he thinks they're Chinese. If they are Chinese, there's some questions. How are they traveling this far without recharging their batteries? Where are they going? Or are they just up in the sky cloaked? We have heard that when certain police drones, which are now up there trying to get better shots of them, and I don't know if they have or not. If they have, they haven't been released to the public yet as far as the footage. But apparently they are able to cloak themselves and turn off the lights. The other thing is, if it's China or somebody spying, why would they have all these flashing lights? A lot of them have flashing lights. And if it is our military, if it is the US military, why would they scare people like this? Because it seems like people are starting to take this more serious, and authorities can say all they want. Oh, don't worry about the multiple drones flying over your head on a regular basis that we don't know what they are or where they're coming from, but we can assure you, you don't have to worry. That sounds weird. I talked to one of my friends from Canada who works for the equivalent of the FBI, the equivalent of the FBI, CIA type thing in Canada, which he doesn't tell me any information on, of course, but he's interested in UAPs. And his opinion, as he's been following this, is he says whatever it is, it appears like they're doing reconnaissance on us. And if it is a military test that they're not telling anyone about, it's a strange way to go about it. If it's neither of those two, it's something very scary, was his exact quote. Some people are saying it could be a large firm or government putting these incursions together over military bases. It seems weird to me. I mean, it could be terrorists, I guess, very rich terrorists or somewhere very rich doing this. This is a pretty huge operation, because it is also worldwide. We've seen stuff like this in Argentina in recent days, in Brazil, strangely not Canada, in the UK over US bases. I don't think Canada is at risk of taking over anything or causing any major problems in this world. But some of the things that I find interesting is, like, I guess maybe as far as who's responsible for this, maybe we should be looking at where these and what countries where this stuff is not happening. There's several mayors in New Jersey, including Tony Perry from and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, because I do go to New Jersey a lot, but Monmouth County, I believe is pronounced. He said there were 6 cited near the Erie Naval Weapons Station on Friday night. 6 drones over the Erie Naval Weapons Station Friday. President Trump, has a house in Morris County, New Jersey, apparently, where a lot of these things have been seen, over the Trump National Golf Course as well. Some of these drones are as large as small airplanes. There's also been several earthquakes lately, including one in Las Vegas today, that some people are speculating could have something to do with this activity. It's very, very bizarre. I'll show you a video here that somebody sent me of 2 drones in New Jersey interacting with each other. Just for a second, then I'll get into your comments. This was posted on Reddit, but I guess these are 2 drones in New Jersey that actually appear to be interacting with each other, and there's an airplane in the shot of these at one point. But there's almost too many videos to watch them all. There's been so many taken from all over the US lately. And I think this is the clip where that vehicle approaching is a regular airplane, and you see these 2 orb-like things interacting. Which are they drone? I mean, the things I saw looked similar to that. Looked actually fairly similar to those that I saw here, right near the Air Force Base in Wichita, Kansas, last week. So who knows? Let's get into your comments. Monmouth, thank you. Why are we calling UFOs drones? Apparently, we're calling UFOs. First of all, UFOs stands for unidentified flying objects. They rename them UAP, unidentified anomalous objects, because they also go underwater. In more cases than not, they go underwater. And apparently, these are actually more visible overall over water than on land. So they do stuff underwater. Are some of these, who knows what these drones are? Some of them are drones. Some of them look like orbs. Some of them look more like UFOs than anything else. And they certainly have characteristics of what people would think of in the past as alien vehicles. Although some people are saying it's China. There's a lot of things we're hearing about China lately, such as them hacking into the phone accounts of people. So text messages apparently aren't safe. There's the whole thing with TikTok supposedly being a Chinese spy tool. There's a lot of weird stuff. Someone is saying the world is about to learn that there is intelligent life beyond ours. I'm not familiar with geoengineering. No, I'm not. One thing there's something very unsettling about this, and I've heard some New Jersey officials say this activity appears to be nefarious. Something very unsettling about this, but part of this, just because I've been researching UAPs and UFOs since 2014, and a lot of people act like you're crazy, particularly in Canada, even though in the US they have a whole UAP investigation section of the government, and they've had congressional and Senate hearings. And last Friday, apparently, there was a House hearing on this UAP issue, but it was confidential. But like, part of me is like, okay, finally, people are seeing that it's not all science fiction. But the other part is, what the hell is about to happen? Because it doesn't seem like this is slowing down. Somebody says with the new president next year, it seems like they decided to show up. They actually started showing up after that missile situation with the Ukraine and Biden, literally just after that. Donald Trump has been saying he's pro-disclosure, and apparently he's appointed people that seem to be going along with that. So we'll see what happens. But before Donald Trump is inaugurated, something might happen, because this is increasing every day. And at some point, why are we not shooting these down if they're not ours? Is it because we're worried that they're carrying dangerous weapons? Is it because they are really ours? Or is it because we don't want to start a major war? I haven't heard that they're spraying anything. Haven't heard anything negative about them, other than they're spying on us and flying over places they're not supposed to, other than apparently they blocked a medical helicopter from landing a few nights ago. Oh, there we go. There's a lot of people from New Jersey on this channel. Someone said apparently in South Jersey, liquid is coming out of them. Well, I don't know about Nazi saucers, but there's a lot of proof now, actually, that if nothing else, life exists, and there might be a lake underneath Antarctica where marine life and micro life exists deep below Antarctica. Who knows what else? Tell us more if you're watching and you've heard any more about the spraying liquid, because I've just heard about that in this update. I was surprised that there was not more in the news today. Obviously, the New Jersey governor publicly saying that the FBI is looking into this and pretty much publicly asking for help. That came out today. But there was no real government officials tracked down by news sources and put on the spot to answer. There was no Pentagon briefing where any questions were answered about this. And I find it weird. Jeff says there's still UFOs. I think drones is just easier for people to understand. If they say UFOs, people don't take it as seriously, or they get more scared. Drones, people have been hearing about drones for a long time. Somebody thinks they are live light spears. I mean, the one, especially some of the ones I saw, it seemed like they would be growing and shrinking. That's what initially caught my attention of them before I even started filming them. The ones I saw here in Kansas. But again, it was over a Air Force base. But I was about 5 minutes away, and I was looking towards it in the sky. So they could have actually been legit military craft there. Are they trying to stop the bird flu via some strange message? Are they drones or UFOs? Well, could be a combination of everything. It's very weird. Could be someone with a lot of money that doesn't care about very, very serious consequences if they're caught. Someone says the Chinese take Thanksgiving off. That's a theory, Jason. Let's hope it is. I really hope that it is somebody just messing around with us, because if it's not, we could be in a lot of trouble. Someone says they are ours. I mean, I think you're joking there, but I don't see why they would go about it this way if they were ours. There seems to be a lot of different lights on them too. Some of them are multicolored flashing. Some of them have no lights. Some of them have spread out lights. Some of them look like almost a Christmas ornament. Somebody says it might be the U.S. testing new radar system. Good point, Jeff. I guess the rich guy might want to risk getting caught and going to prison for a while, spending a lot of money on legal fees. With all the trouble these are causing, if that is true, that might be the best scenario. If it's a rich person screwing around, but it's there, I would say it's probably more likely not that. People are saying they're the size of small cars. The mayor says they could land on my wife's head and she wouldn't believe it. I know a lot of people like that. A lot of people want to know. I'm just reading on here about the liquid spray. So please give me more information on that if anyone knows. What are they going to drop would be my question if they are dropping spray, someone's asking. Someone says they cannot shoot anything down. I don't know about that. Someone says that's news to me. Someone says they're checking in from North Jersey. Well, if there's one thing that this proves right now, it's like this does make Homeland Security and the FBI look bad. And I'm not anti-government or anything like that. I am pro-military, pro-police, and pro-government. I really am. But it does make them look bad that this is kind of happening, and it doesn't appear that they're doing anything about it. You sum it up nowhere fast right there. This situation is one of the weirdest situations ever. A lot of weird stuff, and like, what does NASA know about all this? With all of here's the one thing I do believe: this NASA guy, this Gold guy, that testified at the recent congressional UAP hearing, I do 100% believe he lied under oath. That's my opinion. Because Paul Hellyer, in an interview with me, the former Minister of Defense of Canada, even told me NASA knows a lot more about UFOs and UAP than they let on. And of course, with all of their telescopes and satellites and everything, you would think they would probably have a good idea. RL, yeah, a lot of people are saying it's China. A lot of people are saying Russia is too busy with the Ukraine war and not well funded enough to pull something like this off. Where would regular people find drones this large? Apparently, some of them are the size of commercial drones, and commercial drones are big enough at some points where people can actually ride in them. Rob's neighbor says he's seen a light spear on his security cameras a couple years ago in Wisconsin. A lot of people think they are definitely drones. We don't know what they are carrying, but they are definitely drone-esque vehicles. We'll check out your channel. I don't know about the XXX, though. I think that might be a warning sign not to check it out. Kathy says they are right on the New York-New Jersey border and have big drones zipping around our sky for years, always at night. Well, you see, it's reassuring that at least some people have seen this for a long time and nothing has happened. So one interesting thing why the major news outlets aren't reporting on this nationally yet, maybe they just expect nothing to happen and we're just going to get used to seeing these more regularly. And people are going to stop talking about it and it's going to go away. Just like, remember when there was the Chinese weather balloon incident last March, where the weather balloon was shot down, or spy balloon, some people call it. We saw the remnants of the shot down spy balloon, but in the following days, there were 3 other unidentified aerial phenomena shot down. One over Canada, which doesn't look like a balloon to me. And they were shot down with $750,000 missiles. But that picture that was obtained by CT News in Canada, that was the one shot down over the Yukon by U.S. planes. That is the only thing we've seen of the other 3 that were supposedly shot down. We've seen no proof that that one was actually shot down because we've never seen the wreckage, and we've seen no pictures or videos of the other ones that were shot down over the US. So I'll keep looking. Thanks a lot, Chuck. I'll keep looking to see about this spray. If anyone else knows about it, let us know. Apparently the FBI is receiving reports of liquid coming out of them. I would try and say avoid that liquid. If they are dropping liquid, do not let that liquid touch you. That's probably pretty safe advice, unless some very reliable source comes out and says go ahead and let them touch you. I'd avoid that liquid. There is a good question in French, which I do speak French. Someone is asking why nobody is using night vision on these. And I mean, that is weird. One question was, I was interviewing some people that research this all the time the other day and have that. Where is Avi Loeb and the Galileo project during all of this? The Harvard study group. Why haven't they moved remotely to New Jersey? This seems like the most opportune time ever if you want to get good UAP footage. And it seems like nobody with tens of $1,000s worth of equipment is covering it, or at least if they are, they haven't released the videos yet, or they're being stopped from doing it. Who knows? It's very weird. Where would normal people find drones this large? Apparently, Jeff is saying China has drones flying over their airspace as well. Someone says it reminds them of close encounters. One thing I truly think it could be is, with all the talk of nuclear war lately, that they might be hovering over these military bases to monitor the nuclear war situation. That's what I think. For good, for bad, to stop it from happening, perhaps. Some people are saying they might even be here to spark something up between countries. They could be here for that. If it's something out of this world, it might not be. We don't know. We want answers. That's what it all comes down to. But I think with all the talk recently of nuclear bombs, it might have something very well to do with that, whatever it is. Someone says, again, okay, so lots of people are starting to say that they're spraying stuff. So that is very interesting. What color is the liquid? If anybody knows, let us know. There's lots of comments on here, but let me know if anyone that knows more about this spraying stuff. If the drones are happening all at once, how could they really be a foreign government? Nobody could do that but the US. That is, in theory, you would think that, although China might be able to pull it off. Or the US could be doing it here to take. I don't think that's what's happening. I don't think it is. I don't think the US would want to scare their people like this. But who knows what it is? You guys can tell me what you think. Remember the Battle of Los Angeles? Yes. These things do appear to be operating in like flocks and formations, which is very strange. But it appears like they're intelligent. They're not just moving around for no reason. Here, good comments, Lisa. Like Elon Musk, why has he not commented on this? He probably knows more than anyone with his plan to populate Mars eventually, which I haven't heard much about lately, and also all these Starlink satellites everywhere. Let's hope it's not a strike. Billy's bringing up Antarctica again. Yeah, one of the reasons dark and light, why we keep hearing these come out blurry, is because supposedly some of the objects are encased in like a bubble which helps them deal with gravity and how they can make these sharp turns and go so fast without, if they are piloted, anything happening to the pilot. And supposedly that case that encloses them affects people getting good shots of them. Very, very strange. Could they be military drones? I know that military drones are watching them. Military drones are definitely watching these drones. I believe that 100%, because the ones I witnessed here in Kansas, there was activity amongst the ones that looked strange. And then as you looked further off into the night, you could actually see things that looked like more regular drones aimed at them without flashing lights, with just regular red lights, just looking at them. That was my view on it. Let's feed Neil deGrasse Tyson to them. I'd like to hear his take on this. A lot of people are saying not drones. Night vision will show everything. That's what I'm saying with all of these news stations that are worth multi-millions of dollars. Why aren't they out there shooting it with their equipment? Why would it have anything to do with nukes? Because if it is, well, for one thing, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but there's been a lot of threats of nuclear wars lately. And if aliens or UAPs, I'm not saying anything that it could be aliens, but there's a long history. Look up the book UFOs and Nukes. There's a 22-hour audiobook from Robert Hastings that tells you the whole history of UFOs turning both off and on nuclear warheads. It's actually well documented if you actually research it. Air traffic is not reporting them. Very true. Does anyone see any right now? That would be good to know. If they are, get your cameras on them. It's the only weird thing about China is Tim Burchett from Tennessee definitely did an interview the other day, highly insinuating that it was China, which I found very weird. And he even said in that interview that he thinks it should be open season on them, which I don't know if that would be the best decision or not. Somebody is saying some of the drones left vapor trails and people thought they were spraying something. Very interesting. Well, let's hope. Anyways, people, thanks a lot for all the comments. That's about all the information I know for now. But I will keep researching it, and please write in the comments anything new you might hear, particularly about the liquid, because I'd really like to know more if they are actually spraying liquid or if it's just a trail of gas. Have a great